that's great.
It's fight night.
Yep.
Eddie did not suddenly have a burst of energy right as we were fixing to go live, and we've just spent the last 2 minutes taming this beast. That is not what we're in the middle of doing. We're not currently making sure the beast stays tame for our presentation. Just chewing on stuff.
Just chewing. Okay.
He's chewing.
Just jumping away. Did get new Eddie treats for any redemptions that might like throw out. These are limited to like 2 or 3 probably. This is below Rule 6 because they're larger treats. And they're
he spent quite a bit of time chewing the test treat. Yeah. So just let you know we got it's a limited treat redemptions tonight.
We do still need redemptions for
Art Boy is giving him one.
There are the next fight night is totally open. So if you're having some points after this one, next Sunday, totally
completely open. Nothing is booked. So anything you want to see, let us know. Dark Tidings is looking to be March 12th. It's looking to be closer.
Wakey.
March 12th is looking to be closer and closer to a firm street date at this point.
Yeah, it's like multiple sources.
A little under a month away. Still not definitive, but is looking pretty good. We haven't heard from our source yet, one way or another. But
I'll try asking again. I mean, that's just what the treats said, okay? I don't know that they actually do that. They said made with real bacon and real maple syrup.
Yeah.
So that's something. How did y'all have a good day?
Yeah, Justin had a pretty good day.
I had a pretty good day. I won a Keyforge tournament, no big deal.
No, in BT.
I only beat some of the best players in the world to win.
In BT. That's right.
Only beat the best adaptive player in the world. Yeah, no big deal.
In BT. So,
no big deal. But yeah, it's a fun tournament. The final Swindle tournament, really very, very well done, very well run.
It's 2-deck survival, right?
Yep,
I did not play in it.
It was 2-deck survival. 75 SAS cap. I played the Innkeeper that entwines Coalition and Mr. Jackfeet.
Yeah,
so perfect commander because Mr. Jackfeet is a 69 SAS for some reason. Yeah,
which is we don't think is necessarily accurately represented. So I've been watching a lot of GTRP, so I've been like embellishing a lot of my. I've just been listening to so much like embellishment when people are talking. I feel like I've unnecessarily thrown those in tonight, but don't worry about that.
It's fine.
More of that to come. Anyway, so stop going under the table. Stop chewing on the cords.
He's not chewing on any cords.
But no, I mean he's chewing.
He just wanted a little spot
on the cords,
on top of the cords.
Yes,
near the cords, in the vicinity of the cords. Okay, so fight night.
Yeah,
we're here.
We got some sound, right?
We're gonna send it down.
Send it down the ring.
Roadrunner
returning
is back.
Returning in the guest role. The guest
gonna
announcer role.
Talk us in the first match. Now. Soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first match tonight is the fan favorite variant, the Coach's Challenge. However, this time, rather than our sponsor pitting decks weighing in at radically different SAS, both decks here are Worlds Collide powerhouses weighing in the low 70s. I wonder which deck will be chosen by which coach. Could we have an embarrassing de facto reversal match?
Could be. I have that tendency to do that during Adaptive Best Ones. All right, Warholt's intro.
And in the other corner,
the
Lone Ranger.
Make that make sense. In Liren's intro.
In this corner, we have a fighter who has endured verbal abuse his entire career from those who taunt him repeatedly mispronouncing his name. But what can we expect when his given name is the same as a tiny village in the Netherlands where once every 4 years a festival occurs in which a sheep may be won by lottery? And also when his Callipygian ideal is the Witch of the Wilds. And so, ladies and gentlemen, he learns to trust no one. If you value your life, never call him the Leering of Volvagard, but welcome his true name, Lieren Volgavard's Scholar.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
We always learn something. during these intros.
All right.
And Warhol.
And in the other corner, the Lone Ranger had Tonto, Batman has Robin, and Don Quixote his Sancho Panza. We tend to identify with the close personal assistant of the superhero. But this fighter is different. He boasts that knowledge is power. He has a reptilian philosopher who asserts that all he knows is that he knows everything. Can we sympathize with this type of malignant narcissism? Presenting Warholt, the sidekick of Dancing Bridge.
It's pretty good.
All right, there you go.
Pretty good stuff.
Thank you, Roadrunner, for that match coverage right there. Okay, we got the other. Let's take a minute to clear the mat on the other matchups.
Okay, thank you, Roadrunner. Great.
Yeah,
thank you for bringing us in
again.
And we got the sheets here. We're gonna have to figure out what deck we want to bid on here. I feel like these are pretty similar decks.
Yeah, so Warholt is my deck. So we'll signify that with an amber. And then Lirin is Justin's deck, which will put a damage token. So we'll each have a damage token. We'll each have an amber. We'll conceal our hands, and then we'll reveal them. So with our choice. And if we've chosen different decks, then we will just play the decks. If we choose the same deck, we're going to treat it as if it were a game 3 of adaptive. We're going to bid chains. The person who brought the deck starts the bidding at 0 chains. Lirin, backstory for Lirin. That is the deck that I managed to day 2 with at Vault Tour Indianapolis. It's a pretty good Worlds Collide deck overall, I'd say. At least really early on in the meta. I felt like I had the meta pegged, that we had just huge boards, so this deck had an unnatural selection. Felt like that was like super necessary. So all right, Lirin is interesting in that it's like kind of slow to start, but it can generate a lot of amber or seemingly out of nowhere cards with like Eldest Bear, and the shadows in particular can kind of explode. You got stuff like Hawk, which generates more amber than the pips let on. So, all right. Now Warholt, let's see, how many creatures?
I don't remember this deck.
Quite a few creatures. Legacy, Experimental Therapy. Was this deck? Well, what is this?
I think it must have lost out in the first round.
Yeah, where's this deck from?
It's from the tournament.
It looks mediocre. Like, it doesn't look awful.
Well, it's got like it's got the 2 Infernuses and Hysteria, so like that by itself should be enough for a lot of effectiveness.
So this deck's actually good against Hysteria, is the thing, because I played against Infernuses, and that was like one of the things I kept in mind when I was choosing my deck, because this deck doesn't have a ton of amber pips, so Infernus doesn't punish it as badly.
It's like 6. Yeah,
right.
And Warhold itself only has 8.
Right. So that was one of the first things, because like round 1, I think I played against Lyle from Crit Camp, and he was playing Dis. I don't know if he Infernus that game, but I know like my 3rd or 4th round opponent like played Infernus and like got like 1 amber. So
this is actually a really tough choice.
Yeah,
because like Lirin has the artifact control, and Warhold has 3 artifacts. Yeah, but 2 of those are golden spirals.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, Warholt's got Poltergeist as well.
Yeah.
I don't think Lirin has like.
It has no artifacts.
Yeah, doesn't have any really important artifacts, but you could like Poltergeist your own golden spiral.
According to my calculations, it has no artifacts. So that might be wrong, but it's my calculations. Okay.
All right. Similar in value. Is kind of a tough call. All right. So, I am going to make my pick.
All right.
Okay, so we have chosen each other's decks. We don't actually bid any chains. We just we end up swapping.
Yeah,
so
I'll change the name of the stuff.
I will go ahead and get the bets going. So you can enter your bets while Justin is bidding. that quick bookkeeping there. So.
Easy enough.
All right.
Now we just play a game.
Yeah, no bidding.
No bidding.
I think it's the first time we've done that.
It is, yeah. I think this matchup's so close. I chose Warholt because it's got more efficiency, so I figured if I was going to play a deck with chains, I wanted it to be the one with Logos.
The guy who beat me was a Logos deck. He beat me twice. He beat me round 6, and then he also knocked me out of day 2. Now, I misplayed because I didn't fully understand the timing window around Spartosaur, which I think this deck has, right? No, my opponent had Spartosaur. And I played Unnatural Selection, killing the Spartosaur, and I thought it was going to kill everything. But that's not how Spartosaur works.
It has to be alive.
It has to be alive after the Unnatural Selection is done. And so I used my creatures thinking they were going to die. It was Eldest Bear and 2 other creatures. And what could have happened is that I could have played the Unnatural Selection, killed all but 3.
Why are you people shaking?
It's going. No bidding.
No one else is betting. No one else has bet yet. Is that why your people are shaking?
Yeah, bidding is going. Bidding is active. What I could have done is choose his 3 creatures, and then instead of reaping with Eldest Bear thinking it was going to die, Eldest Bear would be my middle creature now, and I could kill something with Assault 3.
Yeah.
You know, there was like, I could have just wiped his board, and that's not what happened. And I would have been threatening for my 2nd key in that situation, and I would have been like so far ahead. So yeah, that was just a misplay, a fundamental misunderstanding of the rules there. But his deck was so much more efficient than mine. Then I needed the huge plays to actually, because he would take a turn and put down like 4 creatures. He'd be like, Logos, 4 creatures. Sorry, and the next turn 4 creatures. You know, it was just like, how am I supposed to keep up with this?
Man, I got so much use out of Novu Dynamo today. I think I had 2 or 3 games where I played it first.
It's really good.
Like Mr. Deck Feed, and I was just like dumping Logos stuff all just out on the table.
Novu Dynamo is it is pretty good. I think it's actually probably my favorite Logos card from Mass Mutations.
Yeah, it's
really
solid.
I really like the design of it. All right, so I am going first.
Are you going first?
I rolled an 8, or no, you rolled an 8. Oh yeah, you're going.
Yeah,
you're
okay.
going first. You're going first.
I thought I did.
I'll keep. Wait, do I keep? Do I toss this? I think I toss this. I don't think it's bad, but I think I can do better. It was a 4/2 hand, and that kind of but it was like 2 Ghost Hawks and aren't on it. Lost to Bear Nose and Rod Pile.
Interesting. I don't remember those decks either.
I remember Bear Nose's name, but I do not remember the deck. And I do remember Rod Pile. I think Rod Pile must have been knocked out because I think I made the joke about it being a pile. When it lost. I don't remember exactly when it got eliminated, so. It
was also knocked out.
No, Rod Pile was knocked out. Yeah,
wow.
Okay.
What was the other pod, or what was the other deck in that?
Kano Claw. Now I remember Kano Claw's name. Was that like a multi 2-1 pod? Was it like everybody 2-1 and then like an 0-3 or something? Or I guess it was 2-1s.
2-1, 2-1, 1-2-1-2.
Yeah.
All right. I'll play Knowledge is Power. Archive card. Your turn.
I will play
2-1, 2-1, 1-2-1-2. Yeah.
Okay. Bramble Links and Imprinted Murmic, and it's your turn. I will draw.
Say this. I will Binding Irons you.
Yeah.
I'll play a Dendrix and an Eterome and a Dendrix.
Well, as fun as it sounds, losing all of the cards in my hand to attacks next turn, I am going to Axiom. I'll ward the Murmook and the Bramble Links will die. I'll gain 2 more chains. I'll play Odoak and Praefectus Ludo. You don't actually have anything there, so I'll drop a chain, draw 2. Turn.
Alright, I'll say Saurian. I'll play a Strix, and I will Exalt. I will Axiom and Ward. I will play Philophosaurus, and I'll play Ancient Power, which just wards the center of Strix again. Your turn.
Okay, I am
Chain and 3.
going to play Eldest Bear, and that's it. I'll draw a card, and it is your Eddie, you're on. Hey. You're on the batteries.
The batteries.
You're on the laptop. You're on the laptop power source. Hey, move.
It's very warm there.
Yeah, I know it's warm. I know it's warm because that dog. You know what this dog reminds me of? This dog reminds me of my sister. Okay?
What?
This dog reminds me of my sister.
Go
Go over there. Go over there. This dog reminds me of my sister, where she would do something annoying, and I'd be like, "Hey, that's kind of annoying," and then she'd continue to do the annoying thing, and then when I would say, "Hey, this is annoying," a little bit louder, she goes and tells the parents. Okay, that's Eddie. All right. Do you see where I was like, "Hey, Eddie, you're on top of the power source for the laptop." And I went to move him, and he immediately whined as if I had kicked him. I touched that dog, respectfully touched that dog, and he started to whine. Yeah.
Your turn.
All right, I am going to say Shadows. I am going to trust no one and Hawk. And it is your turn. I will drop a chain and draw 3.
Okay, we'll say this. I will Draining Touch the Eldest Bear, destroy a creature with an Amber on it, and I'll play an Inspector, and I'll Reap with Malazan.
Alright, I am going to say Saurian. I'm going to play Tribune Pompatus and a Draco Praco, and I'll put the Calipigian Ideal on Tribune Pompatus.
+2 power.
Yeah, each friendly creature gets +2 power for each Amber on it. I will drop a chain and draw 3.
Well, okay, I'll say Logos. I'll play Igor. I think I'll discard Hysteria and Quant. I'm playing so many creatures this turn that Hysteria is not going to be good unless you do something. But I'll play a Daughter and Titan Guardian and a Replicator. The Sanitation Engineer.
Okay. I am going to say Shadows. I'm going to play Manchego. I'm not even close. I'm going to hit and run the Daughter. Bounce the Manchego. Play Manchego. Play a Venda. It is your turn. I'm going to drop chain and draw.
Alright, I will. Okay.
I love my sister to death, but I love my sister to death. I'll leave it at that.
I'll say Logos. I will Thorium Plasmate, Avinda, just to do 2.
Okay.
I'll Reap with Replicator and trigger the Reap ability on Philophosaurus. Look at the top 3. Archive 1. Add 1 to my hand. And discard. I'll discard Imperial. I play Quant.
This is like all on those binding irons at the beginning of the game, I feel like.
I'll fight the Avinda.
It's possible I should have waited on the Axiom. A lot of times with this deck, when I held the board wipe like a turn longer than I thought I should, it was always like really good.
I'll Reap with Guardian. I'll Reap with the Engineer. Discard a card. Legatus Raptor. I'll put... I basically experimental therapy. It's like super greedy to put on Philophosaurus, so I don't think I do. It's probably better on this replicator. Stun the replicator. Your turn.
Okay, I am going to say Untamed. I'm going to concede this key. I'm going to play Pampaka, Anga, Witch of the Wilds, and Flaxia. And your turn, I will draw 5.
Okay, I'll forge. I didn't draw my cards yet. I will.
So, how's it going?
Okay, I'll say. Arian. I'll say sorry. Yeah, I'll say sorry. I'll play Stomp and Exalt. I'll stomp the witch. Oh no, that doesn't kill it. I have to stop that. And then Exalt the Senator Shrix. Play Golden Spiral. Guess I'll reap with the Dilophosaurus. Top 3. Add 1 to my archive 1. Add 1 to my hand. Okay, so I can skip the discards. I'll add archive that. This to my hand. Play Golden Spiral. Play Raider Gallum. Senator Shrix will reap. I guess I'll alt it. That's what lets me threaten. I'll unstun the replicator, and your turn.
Okay.
I'll shuffle.
Alright, I am going to say Saurian. I am going to use Witch of the Wilds to play Unnatural Selection. I'm going to kill Manchego. Oh, sorry. I'll choose these 3. I am going to choose Titan Guardian, Imp Spectre, and Malison.
Okay. So these are dead. This goes away.
So I'm choosing these 3. Flaxia and Manchego go away. Alright, I am going to play Senator Strix, Reader Gallum, and a Reader Gallum. I am going to have Tribune Pompatus fight your Strix. So before the fight, I can exalt it. I don't think I do here, so he'll take 2. And then Draco Praco will reap, and the question is, do I exalt to enrage? I don't think I do. I'll just say check with 8, and it is your turn. I will draw 4.
Say this. I'll play Dendrix. Play 2 Infernuses. Let me take a peep. Hawk. Get Natural Selection. There's 0 other pips in here, so I might have to.
You can always get your own, but yeah.
So I don't have anything else, so I will get your stuff.
Okay. See? Yeah.
Yeah, that's legit. That's legit. Get trust no one. Let's get Flaxia.
Okay.
Malazan will fight a Raider Gallum, and then I can do like it makes him bigger, so I'll do this and move it to the flank.
Yeah.
Inspector will just reap. Your turn.
Okay, so I will forge using the Calipigian and this. Okay, I am going to say Shadows. I'm going to play a Hugger Mugger. I will use Witch of the Wilds to play a Ghost Hawk here. I'll reap with Draco Praco. I will reap with Shrix. It's like tempting to exalt both of them, but I don't think I do. I am going to hawk a Golden Spiral. And then I am going to put a Ring of Invisibility on the Witch of the Wilds. And it is your turn. I will draw 4. Go ahead.
I'll say this. I will fight the Raider Gallon. Discard a card from your hand. Ghost Hawk. I'll reap with Infernus.
I feel. Oh,
what'd you do?
I smashed into the green screen.
I'll reap with Malazan.
I feel the
Spectre. I will play Hysteria.
Yeah.
I will play the stuff. Malazan. Yeah. Spectre. Infernus. Dendrix.
Not a good place to be, I don't think.
That, purge that, I'll purge that. Purge that. Do that. Your turn.
Not a good place to be. I think this game is over. I think the efficiency got me. I think if I waited a turn on the Axiom, I think I busted the Axiom too early. I didn't get any value from that Odoak either, because he immediately killed. And the important thing was to keep my guys exalted versus Axioms and whatnot. I will say, I think the game's done. Because I think I say sorry and I play all this garbage. I tell you to go ahead. I don't draw anything. I don't have any way to stop the next key. So he forges, and then he takes his disc turn, and I have a Hugger Mugger, but that's not enough, right? So go ahead. Okay. Yeah, Hysteria there is like brutal, right? Because he's like, the thing is, he's all the way through the deck again, right? Because he got through the deck. I'm not even through it the first time. I wanted to Ghost Hawk the Manchego and shuffle it like into the deck during like not Shadow's turn, but obviously, you know, that didn't happen. I ended up having to kill the Manchego to unnatural selection.
I'll say this. I'll fight the Brujadon.
Okay.
Now we're gonna how to reap with the Zeterum. No, there's actually no. Hold on.
I don't think you care.
Maybe
right?
I don't care.
Like you know the only removal, like the only amber answers that I have that are big are Reader Gallons.
2.
Like, I don't think there's anything. There's no TMTP.
4,
there's nothing like that in here.
5, 6. I guess I'll just kill this Inspector. Purge a card from your hand.
Yeah, I don't either. Well, I think they thought that. What's its face was a problem.
A Poltergeist, the Golden Spiral.
Sure.
I'll reap. I'm done.
Okay. I can Hugger Mugger, but that's it. So I will Rigged Lottery.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 1. Frustrating game.
Yeah, it is what it is. Eddie,
Q Nathan tilt. I should be off tilt. Getting I should listen to the intro to the next match, and that should take me off tilt right there. So, all
right, we'll just get on to it then.
I mean, you go from having 5 chains to finally like drawing a normal hand and having your whole board hysteria'd. Yeah.
I had an interesting combo of the City State Interest plus the Imperial Forge sitting in the archive for the longest time.
Oh yeah, I think it could be pretty good.
This deck's actually probably pretty good at getting that off.
Yeah, I wonder if it was like a victim to early Worlds Collide, like we didn't know
because it's got two golden spirals too.
Yeah, we didn't know nearly as much about keeping stuff alive.
This might be a deck to keep an eye on, like to bring it back to test it out a couple times, because I think the deck has a bit of legs, some legs on it. Okay, matchup 2 is a matchup. It looks like this: Ujoy, the Physicist Bard, which was my Atlanta sealed deck.
Okay,
and it has.
This is get the yeah, no, it's right here.
Oh, you have it.
Oh,
it has a very pretty Nepenthe in it. You can see this Nepenthe.
The Nepenthe.
Very cool. So, let's play the old intro.
I don't know if I've played this deck. Oh, somebody chooses because of the Legacies and Mavericks and stuff like that. Yes, Eddie. Would you like through? Would you like through, Eddie? Would you like to whine while you're at it?
Should that deck be the next Tell Challenge? That is up to chat.
Yeah,
that is up to y'all. Second match intro. Here we go.
In our second match, we have fighters of two very different styles. Who doesn't enjoy a race between the tortoise and the hare? Or a combat between one gladiator using shield and short sword versus another with trident and net? Tonight, we have a fighting nerd with a much varied toolbox versus a judicious potentate with the suffocating heart of the forest. Ladies and gentlemen, let us see which style might prevail.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, not every fighter fits the stereotype of the streetwise brawler.
This is Ujoy.
In this corner, we have a former student of radio astronomy. Granted, while attending Caltech, he did show his disruptive nature when his so-called friends chided him for chasing shadows on his oscilloscopes. However, when he insisted that he detected a cloaked Martian battle fleet, he was summarily expelled from university and turned to the fighting ring, presenting Ujoy, the Physicist Bard.
All right, excellent backstory there for Ujoy.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Sagacious.
In the other corner, we have the epitome of the wrestler always seeking to keep his opponent off balance. His tale of the tape shows no outstanding attributes, and in fact, he is quite light on amber control. However, he can combine that much maligned Heart of the Forest with Key Charge for a match-ending pin to the canvas. Welcome Sagacious, that is, acute in perception and sound in judgment. The Sagacious Margrave of the Mage Roost.
All right, there you go.
Sweet.
That's your SAT word for the day. So, I'm glad we can continue the educational nature of this stream on Fight Nights. So, yeah, there you go. I don't know if I ever actually played Ujoy.
Really?
Yeah, okay. I don't think I have.
It's bursty. I remember that about it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Brainstem certainly can be bursty. Nepenthe, you get like Nepenthe Battlefleet. This deck did have bait and switch when it was unnerved.
Yeah, yeah.
Imperial Trader actually does something in this matchup.
Oh, that's rare.
So, it's also got a Speed Sigil, 3 Urchins and a Fagin. So, yeah, I could see you wanting to play the Speed Sigil, play Fagin, play an Urchin, use Fagin immediately to bounce the Urchin, play it again.
Yeah, it was really good with Speed Sigil for its time. You know, like Coda decks. As far as Coda decks go, it was pretty good with Speed Sigil.
Yeah.
And that's a thing you probably don't want to play against the likes of like that deck I just played. Imagine playing Speed Sigil against that deck.
Right.
Play Dilophosaurus. Bang.
Yeah, but
any interesting ways to deal with the Heart of the Forest? I don't think it has artifact control.
I don't see. I mean, Shadows didn't really have any artifact control, right? It does have. Did I see an EMP blast? No, it did not. So no.
Yeah, so that's a problem.
I don't think there's any good artifact control here.
That's a problem right there.
It's got to control the weak. So I don't know. always...
If you play HOF like it's supposed to be played, I don't think Ujoy can win. Yeah, there might be a point in the match where we have to call it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Margrave is like is equipped with ways to deal with Heart of the Forest within it, which is pretty powerful because it's got the Whispering Reliquary, so I could bounce it, play it, bounce it, keep it in its hand, key charge. It's got the Helper Bots. It's got Binate Rupture.
Yeah, there's a lot of like ways to burst Amber in Margrave. So I think Ujoy probably just generates a steady amount of Amber the whole time, and then with like some spikes here and there. But like Margrave is like set up, huge burst. It's got Martyrs in too, so you can like Helper Bot, Martyrs End, Helper Bot, Key Charge. You set up like a big big board, just something where you're just gonna play it like 8 cards in a turn.
Welcome to the stream, Zap Brannigan.
Zap Brannigan.
We quote Zap Brannigan.
Yeah,
very
but
often.
I'd say regularly.
Maybe once an episode. So
all right, so you're rolling 11.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Glad you're getting back into it. Good game. And Dark Tidings is just around the corner.
Yeah. You got we think less than a month before the new set comes out. So, I mean, the nice thing about Keyforge is you can always just kind of jump back in.
It is the easiest TCG or I guess card game there has ever been to get into. It's literally just spend $10 and get a deck, and most of the time it's cheaper than that.
I feel like this hand's not bad, but I am going to mulligan it.
Even this one.
Yeah, I do have the bets going right now, so.
Capture this Eddie pose. Oh, he's so done.
He's
just bored.
Yeah,
he'll be asleep.
Yeah,
you can do whatever for tokens, right?
Tokens you can kind of like stop exploding, you cowards. Yeah. If Brobnar was definitely in the next set, absolutely.
All right, I'll start with one of my favorite cards to start with is Sloppy Labor. So I'll archive a card, and I'll discard this Fountain House.
All right, my turn.
Yep. I
will say dis. I'm gonna play Succubus and Charette. Charette will capture 1, and I will draw 3.
Play Sanctum. Play Abade. I'll discard Heart of They Come. I'll Blinding Light for dis. I'll Murder's End, and I will not kill. I'll draw 3. Up to 5.
Alright, I am going to say Mars. I'm going to play Mother Gun. I'm going to play Ether Spider. I'm going to play Biomatrix back up onto the Ether Spider. I think actually makes the most sense here. I will discard Phosphorus Stars because 2 chains to stun 1 creature doesn't seem worth it. So I will draw.
Say Logos. I'll play Helperbot. I'll put a backup copy on Helperbot. I'll use Helperbot to play this Cermeros, and that is it.
All right, I am going to say Shadows. I'm going to play Urchin and steal 1. I will play Imperial Trader, and let's take a look.
Where's this equalize?
Yep. Choose a. That's actually useful, right? Because you could equalize like all the stuff on an Urchin here,
yeah.
Especially if it got like an Ether Spider real big. You could like move it over to one of the easier creatures to kill and then just kill it. So all right, that is gone. All right. I am going to put a Silent Dagger, I think, on Ether Spider. You didn't have a clean way to kill it just now.
No, I had discarded the Heart of They Come earlier. So
yeah,
unfortunately.
I will play this Pawn Sacrifice, and I'm gonna skirt around the issue of me sacrificing a small child to... I'll put damage into Abade and Cermeros. And I will tell you to go ahead. I will draw 4.
Okay, I'll say Untamed. I'll play Heart of the Forest. I'll play Rustnar. I'll play Camouflage on Cermeros. Your turn. Draw 4.
Alright, I will say this. I am going to play Shaffles. I am going to put Flame Wreath on Succubus. I am going to unstun Charette and Succubus. I will control the weak into Untamed.
Okay.
And it is your turn. I will say check with 7 and draw. And Shaffles blows off whenever.
So Untamed, I'll discard Full Moon, I'll fight Shaffles, and blow up the Mother Gun. Your turn.
I will Forge. Okay, I will Battle Fleet. Okay, 3. Draw 3.
We'll make sure this is not a 2-hour game.
I am actually considering killing my Ether Spider here. If I can generate enough Amber, I can kill the Ether Spider so that way we don't end up in a situation where Justin just lets the Ether Spider pile up forever until he's ready to win, right?
Yeah.
So I'm strongly considering killing the Ether Spider here. I do think I set up a situation where the Ether Spider can kill if it needs to. I'm going to put the Brainstem antenna on the Ether Spider.
Mm-hmm.
I will Reap with Ether Spider, and it's going to stab the Rustnar to death. Oh, this Amber goes to Cermeros. I will Squawker Ether Spider to ready it. It's going to Reap, and it's going to stab Cermeros. Yeah. At 3. And then I'm going to play a Yixley Marauder. I'm going to use the Brainstem antenna to ready Ether Spider. And then the Marauder is going to capture 1. And then Ether Spider is going to Reap and stab Cermeros to death. I guess he should actually have 3 Amber on him.
I think you grabbed the other one.
I got the one from the Squawker, right? I started this turn. Yeah. Started this turn with 1. I played the
he already grabbed it, right? For the second Reap.
Battle Fleet. I played the Squawker. Second Reap. First Reap. Okay. Alright. And it is your turn.
Okay. I'll say Logos.
I will draw 1.
The Titan Librarian and Pip Pip. Helperbot. We'll Reap. And another turn on Archive. I gotta draw first. Happy Valentine's Day to you as well, Evil Turnip.
Hello. I guess I'll say this here. I'll play Charette. I'll play Toxin. Charette is going to fight Titan Librarian. This will go to the Ether Spider. Titan Librarian will die. And then Succubus will fight Pip Pip. There's like No reason for me to generate any more amber right now.
Yeah.
And it is your turn. I will draw 2.
Okay, I'll say Sanct. Play a Reliquary, and I will play Evade and capture 3. I'll play Seraphic Armor. I guess I don't need to do that. I can fight the Succubus now. I'll do that.
Okay.
And then I'll Seraphic Armor this Evade. That's it. Finally draw full hand.
I will say this. I'm gonna Mind Barb you. And I'll Reap with Toxin. Not your hands full.
My hand. Well, those are cards that I wanted, so.
And then I will Reap with Charette. And it's your turn.
Those are cards I wanted. Okay, I'll say. Dang. Oof.
Oof, ow. Oof. Oof, ow, in my archiving.
I'll
and
say.
Creature killing.
Logos. I'll play Archimedes.
I think his hand was like all pretty good cards.
Discard Bionic Rupture. Well, you discard 2 Logos cards, and I still called Logos, so. We'll Reap with Helperbot. And.
Alright, I gotta get this Ether Spider killed.
It's becoming a time bomb.
Yeah. The thing is, I have a lot of stuff in hand that I... Okay, well, I'll play Crystal Hive. I am going to Reap with the Ether Spider, and it's gonna stab itself. And the Marauder here is going to fight. Oh, I guess I'll just Reap. And it is your turn. I will draw 1.
Alright, I'll say Sanctum. Reap with this. Up 1. I will Smite, do ready, and fight Toxin. I will Blinding Light for Mars. I'll bounce the Crystal Hive to your hand. Your turn.
Okay, I am going to say Mars. I am going to unstun the Ether Spider. I'm going to unstun her. I will discard Crystal Hive. I will play Gromid to ready the Ether Spider. He's going to Reap and stab himself to death.
Okay.
And we'll go to my archives because of the Biomatrix backup. And it is your turn. I will draw 1.
Keyforge.
Yeah. Desperate times. Desperate times.
Untamed. I will persistence hunting those creatures. I will play Tantatalin and Grove Keeper. Regrowth.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been pretty good. It sucks that the Grommet is the creature I drew, right?
This thing is...
Okay, my turn.
Yes.
I'll say Mars, I'll play Mind Warper. I'll Forge, I guess, first, but play Mind Warper, and I'll put my Archives into my hand. I'll play the Ether Spider. Do I want to play the Ether Spider? I'll just leave the Ether Spider there, I guess. And it's your turn. Over one.
You can't play creatures.
Can't play creatures,
right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mind Warper's discarded. Yeah. Sorry. I actually forgot Grommet's text. So, yeah. I don't know why it doesn't let you play anything. Like, why can't you play Mars creatures? Right? Like, if you're trying to play stuff from the same house. Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to take 2 Mars turns to get the Grommet killed here, but I can see that is going to be a challenge.
Well, he's ready now. Okay, I'll say Logos.
It's the only way I could kill the stupid Ether Spider there. I mean, do you think it's better for me to leave the Ether Spider and play longer? I don't think it is. I think I have to take a desperate play, because otherwise I just let him save up forever. He would be fine just letting the Ether Spider get to the point where he forges 3 keys in a row because of the key charge, right? I have to get the Ether Spider killed so that the game will get to a state where it can end.
They overbought play Niffle rounds. Do I even want to threaten here? I think it's fine. I'll fight threat overbought on top of my deck, and I'll reap with Archimedes. Say check for 6. Your turn.
Okay, I wish I knew this deck slightly better. It's possible my correct play last turn was to say Shadows. I think I lost. I'll say Shadows. I'll play Speed Sigil. I'll play Miasma. And then I'll discard Shadow Cell, Fagin, Urchin. And it's your turn. I will draw 6.
Alright, I'll say Logos. I will play Helperbot. Play Sloppy Lab Work. Archive a card and discard a card. I'll use the Helperbot to play Blinding Light for Mars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I'm done.
I'll play this unnerved bait and switch.
Yeah.
We'll use the key charge. I can't do enough to stop the key charge. I can threaten, but I cannot stop the key charge. I'll say I'll play it out. I will say I'll play Nepenthe. I'll play Tendrils. I'll play Toxin ready. I'll reap with Toxin. I'll discard a card at random from your hand. I think the key charge is there though. And I will reap with Charette. I'll go to 7. And it's your turn. I'll draw. Oh, I can play the Schuler.
You can't play stuff, right?
Oh, you're right. I can't even play. Oh, Grommet is bad, everybody. You show me the key charge. You got the key charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been there since the beginning of the game.
Right. Yeah. I figured as much.
Yeah.
Oh, is the Ether Spider a mistake? Right? It feels like the Ether Spider was a mistake.
Yeah.
And it's one of those like you don't realize it at the moment, right? So, God. I wish I had the pawn sacrifice for the Grommet, right? That would have been like a lot better off. So,
like you need to control the weak to win that matchup. That's possible, yeah. Because you have to like wait till they're about to pop off with the next turn thing.
But so if he's got the helper bot or the key charge, it doesn't work, right? Because I can't control the weak. If he holds the helper bot, he can helper bot key charge.
If you like,
or if I say Logos, he just key charges. If I say Untamed, he helper bot key charges.
So you have to say Sanctum, right? In that case, because if you wait till the turn before
control the weak Sanctum. Gotcha. Yeah. You might be right. I was thinking Restragantis, right? The picking a house where you can't say it. Yeah.
Match number 3. This will be a pretty good match, I think. Venus versus Temujin. Temujin has too much to protect, and Venus does not like that. So here we go. Let's go down to our ring announcer.
Yeah, I do not think that Temujin really. I mean, I don't think Venus wants you to be able to TMTP it. So
definitely not.
I think I screwed that game up.
Our third match features decks that demonstrate the curious phenomenon that sometimes decks show more strength in cross-set play and perform less well against strong decks of their same set. Tonight, 2 of these decks, each of a different set, face off against each other. Which will win? The deck from Call of the Archons or the one from Mass Mutation?
Okay. Thank you for that sub there, Artboy.
Appreciate that.
9 months. Awesome. All right, here's Temujin's intro.
The deck in this corner continues to represent the Mongol hordes who once controlled an empire that stretched from the grasslands of Eastern Europe to the Sea of Japan. Even now, after suffering a temporary setback at the hands of Helmalan, he reorganizes and retrains because the Mongols were always ready for the next fight, presenting Temujin Hospitable Haunt Gauntlet.
There you go. You already started the bet?
Yeah, sorry. I was starting the next bet before we got the...
Bets are live, everyone.
But, so, if you're going to bet, make sure you bet now.
Venus signature shop.
Because we'll probably finish before the intro.
In the other corner, we have much of what the set Mass Mutation has to offer. Sporting Dark Amber Vault with 10 mutants, Autoencoder, Vault's Blessing, Wild Bounty with 17 bonus Amber Pips, and a Key Frog to boot. Ladies and gentlemen, if Peter Parker was bitten by a radioactive spider, this guy must have been mauled by a radioactive bear, presenting Venus Ignichop from the Engineer's Haunt.
That's pretty good. We got Haunt Gauntlet versus the Engineer's Haunt. That's something.
It's a spooky matchup.
Very spooky matchup.
So we should have saved this for Halloween.
Yeah. Okay. I'm on Venus. On Temujin.
No artifact control, I see.
I thought it had a Poltergeist for some reason.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, okay. Poltergeist is a big deal.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Like, Venus does, like, run artifacts onto the table, so it's like you got to choose real hard what you want to Poltergeist.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think it's
important.
I think the first one of either DAV or Autoencoder.
Yeah.
That's boom, gone.
I love our the Roadrunner historical factoids.
Yeah.
We get. Those are great. Very good stuff.
Since the History Channel only shows Pawn Stars anymore.
Ancient Aliens.
Do you think Ancient Aliens is the fault for QAnon? My girlfriend's talking about her uncle.
It starts with Ancient Aliens. It ends with QAnon.
Yeah. Because Ancient Aliens opens the door for QAnon, right?
Yeah. And innocent, like Ancient Aliens is an innocent show. Like they made it because, hey, let's put random funky alien theories on dumb stuff. Let's talk about how the moon's hollow and aliens are watching us. That's just fun, right?
Yeah.
And
then you take, before you know it, you're storming the U.S. Capitol.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you're chanting "Stop the Steal." Himalayan Knights broke the historical dominance of Mongols over armored armies because he brought dinosaurs. Yeah, there you go. Dinosaurs, pretty good against mounted archers.
The nearly forgotten 80s toy line of Dino Riders.
Alright, it's been a minute since I played Venus Ignochop, but it is a fun deck. Instructions unclear, still Pelosi's podium.
Dino Riders, never forget. There are dozens of us, dozens of Dino Rider fans out there.
And
also 10. A 2. Okay. It's not bad. It also had the Poltergeist in it, but it was like a 3-2-1 hand. I don't think I want to start the game.
Man. This is a hand.
Yeah, I remember it. So, my first foray into conspiracy was like over a decade ago, and I remember reading people talking about like the planet Nibiru, and I was like, okay, well, hang on. If there's like a planet, I've been to like back in middle school, my dad was doing a bunch of like amateur radio astronomy stuff, and there's a dish, or there's a group of dishes. I think it's green something in West Virginia. I have to go look it up, but there's like a satellite array in West Virginia, deep in the mountains. It's like far from civilization. It's like 45 minutes from like the nearest Walmart kind of thing. And I went there twice in middle school with my dad, just hanging out. And you like talk to the people from SETI, and it's like their goal is to find alien life. And they are actually using the instruments because you can just rent time on those things because we built them, I don't know, like in the 60s or 70s or something like that. And we don't want them to go to waste. NASA doesn't need them all the time. And so you can just scan the solar system using radio waves and stuff like that. It's so, like, I remember reading about Planet Nibiru. I'm like, look, if the Planet Nibiru existed, SETI would be all over that stuff. Because they'd love that. They'd eat it up. That's the goal. There's somebody in SETI that probably wants to find Planet Nibiru, and they're using a telescope and they can't do it.
All right, I'm gonna play the Assassin Scale.
Okay.
Now we can play Keyforge.
All right.
So before a SWAT team busts up in the windows here to stop us from spreading the truth.
Yeah, exactly. Radio science because of the telescope. Right. All right, I am going to say this. I'm going to play Life Ward and a Lash of Broken Dreams. And it is your turn. I will draw.
I'll play Logos, so I'll play Autoencoder and Dark Amber Vault, and I'll discard this Adventurer, and I'll play this Novu Dynamo. Your turn.
Okay, I am going to say Shadows. I'm going to discard Bad Penny. I am going to play Bait Switch, and it doesn't do anything. I am going to Nerve Blast the Novu Dynamo, and it doesn't do anything. And I'm going to play a TMTP, and it doesn't do anything. And I will pop the Life Ward because I feel like this is a good time for it. Because this is like a real good time to fall behind. I'm going to go ahead and play this other TMTP. I need some action, and I need it now. I will draw 5. Go ahead.
All right, I'll start the turn by discarding the standardized testing. For the Novu Dynamo, I will play. I'll play.
I want to be doing things. I felt like I haven't. I felt like the cards I've played in the last couple games haven't done anything except actively lose me the game.
I'll discard Cephalist. I will Reclaim by Nature, purge the Lash. I'm done.
Alright, I am going to say this. I'm gonna Mind Barb. And I will Tendrils. And I will play Toxin.
Venus is bursting faster than, or that deck's bursting faster than Venus. Alright.
And I will draw 3. And it's your turn.
Alright, start of the turn. I'll discard this Dinobot. Gain 1. The archive. I will play Dis. Play Arc of Dis on the Toxin. I'll play Essence Scale. I'll gain 1 and do 1 Toxin. I'll play Obsidian Forge. Gain 1. I'll play Hystricog. I'll draw 1 from the DAV. I'll play Hystricog. I'll draw 1. I will play Snarette and draw 1. I will discard this Mark of Dis. I'll use Essence Scale to destroy Hystricog to ready and reap with Hystricog. And I'm done.
Alright, I'll say Dis. I'll play Schuler and Pit Demon, and it is your turn. I will draw 2.
You thought Nathan was on Venus? You thought wrong.
No, I'm on Temujin.
I'll Forge.
Names are above my head.
You thought wrong. Alright. What's going on up in here? I got start of the turn. I needed to do that thing. I discard a card with Nobu Dynamo and gain 1.
Because it doesn't. Venus is a horrendously inconsistent deck.
True. I will say Untamed.
When he has both DAV and autoencoder in the first 8 cards, though, the deck feels unbeatable.
Play Fandangle. Discard Wild Bounty. Discard Mercy. Discard Savage Clash. Your turn.
Okay, I am gonna say this. I'm gonna use the Pit Demon and steal 1. Schuler is gonna fight Fandangle. I am going to Poltergeist. If I could like play whatever the magic card is that lets you divide the targets up among all applicable targets, I would use that right now. I am gonna Poltergeist. Honestly, I think I Poltergeist the Essence Scale. I'm gonna sack Schuler so that Pit Demon can fight Snarette.
That's not Purge, right? Okay.
Oh, that doesn't even kill it because of DAV.
Oh yeah.
So, Fandangle. Schuler died fighting Fandangle. I guess I Poltergeist the DAV.
Okay.
I do that first, so that way Schuler stays alive.
Yeah.
And it's your turn. I'll draw 1. Go ahead. Good lord. I cannot.
Start of the turn. Discard that.
It's a night of knowing the game is over, but having to play 3 extra turns. Yeah, exactly, Stormstrong.
Alright, I'll say Untamed. I'll play Inoya. I'll play a Troop Call. Do damage to the Pit Demon. I'll play Vault's Blessing. I get 2. And turn capture 1.
Okay, I'm gonna say Brobnar. I'm gonna discard Loot the Bodies, plural. I'll play Crump and Earthshaker, and it's your turn. I'll draw 4.
Hey, you got Roadrunner to look forward to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm trying to look forward to it.
Alright, I'll Forge. I guess I can discard a card first. Yeah, I'll discard this Dinobot.
Your archive.
I did. Did I? Yes.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, Temujin has some like sort of dead card. Well, double loot the bodies, Earthshaker, against some decks. That's like that would have been like 6 amber, right? Not against Venus. Venus's creatures are too big. This is after I've blown up the DAV. The only like autoencoder is probably the kill there, but I cannot fight its creatures. And this deck has to fight if it wants to win, right? It relies on having bigger creatures. I've drawn both bad pennies, so those are just 2 dead cards, right? Except for when I draw a dead card and discard it. Bill! Tier 2. We appreciate that, Bill. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have not played any. I've not played any. Look how long he's taking on his turn.
I gotta count, see if I can win.
No, but what I'm saying is, how long have you known Justin to take this long on a turn, right? This is like Nathan levels of turn time on a turn,
okay,
right?
Okay, I'll say it.
No, I mean, you can take as long as you want, because this at least this way I can vent to chat and be cool going into the title match, right?
Yeah. I'll play Essence Scale. I will Mark of Dis, Crump.
Great.
I will play a Techno Fiend. I will Mindfire you. I'll Reap with Hystricog. I'll Reap with Snurret. I will Ritual Tognath.
Oh, you didn't kill the steel? Because you can kill it to the...
I'm going to use Essence Scale to destroy Techno Fiend to ready and Reap Hystricog and steal 1. And then I can use Obsidian Forge.
Yep.
So Forge for 12. Boom.
Yep.
Sorry, Temujin. Chess clocks. Now, I used my time. It was my time that I'm allowed to take as much time as I want. So, yeah.
Whew.
All right, now.
Maybe I should have kept my first hand with the... I had Poltergeist in my first hand, but it was like Poltergeist, Charette, and Schuler, right? And that, like, you go turn 1, and Venus does some bullshit, and I go Poltergeist, and then 2 creatures who don't have effects. I think the game's already lost at that point, right? Like, I needed the creatures that could actually fight, so I mulliganed, and then he just had the DAV and autoencoder in the same turn, so...
All right, I'm unboxing our champion here.
All right,
Andres. The belt is in play.
We're going to inspect the belt. Andres is going to inspect the belt.
Light Tasker is going to exit his vehicle. His Cadillac he pulled up in. Throws the belt on the ground, and Andres doesn't mean anything to him. Just trash. All right, let's watch the intro.
Our main event tonight is a grudge match between 2 champions. Ladies and gentlemen, ask yourself what motivates a champion. For some, it's love of their sport. For others, pride or even glory. However, for these contestants, what motivates them is the opportunity to humiliate their opponent and also the prospect of winning cold, hard cash.
All right.
You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your amber when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting, Lord, when the forging's done.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
In this corner, we have coaxed out of retirement the winner of the controversial final round of the Worlds Collide tournament. To obtain his appearance, the fight promoters needed to consent to a change in venue to Las Vegas, where the Nevada Gaming Commission have certified that Gambling Den is indeed legal for competition. Hence, and now only for our pay-per-view customers, we cut now from South Carolina to the MGM Grand to welcome Andres, the curator of Hyberb.
We in Vegas now, baby. It's 6 hockey sticks per feet. It's a heart too.
It's the kiss of death from Mr. Lightasker. Pretty deck, beware he will steal your gold. His heart is cold.
It's a pretty good one. It gets me every time.
In the other corner, we have a former law enforcement officer, always suspicious of what he has learned of the Grand Star Alliance, and who swore he would never, ever tolerate gambling in his market. However, nursing a grudge against our challenger for beating him in an earlier headline bout, he eagerly defends the title belt, presenting your champion, Lightasker Market Sheriff.
Amazing.
All right, there you go.
Thank you once again, Roadrunner.
Yep.
Please clap. Did a wonderful job tonight, as always.
I love the choice of song for Andres.
It works really well.
So, yeah, just amazing all the way around. All right, so this is a championship bout
for the most prestigious award in Tabletop Royale.
Yeah, I would argue the most prestigious award in all of Keyforge this year.
Also argue that.
The Tabletop Royale Championship belt, the only tangible physical reward available for playing Keyforge on a Tabletop Royale stream.
The only one.
The only one. So, yeah, all right.
Well,
Andres.
This is the best 2 out of 3 matchup, by
best
the way.
2 out of 3. I will be playing Andres the entire time. Justin will be playing Lightasker. So, yeah, Andres excelled at keeping Lightasker on its back foot the whole time they played, and then basically rolled some dice to win. But I think,
but it's like you can do that for all time against Lightasker. Right?
It's one of those.
You have all day.
It's one of those things where it's like, if you
sit back and gamble,
giving yourself a 33% chance to forge a key against Lightasker is actually pretty good odds compared to never forging a key, right? That's been the thing in the past against Lightasker, is it creates deterministic board states. So being able,
when it can't know something for sure, that troubles it.
Right.
Steiner math.
Yeah. You see, most decks only have about a 50% chance to beat Lightasker. But Lightasker's so good that it takes that 50% and reduces it by 50%. So 50% of 50% is 0%. That's Lightasker math, okay?
Yep. Alright. The belt is being put away, held by the ring guy person, which is Eddie, I guess. There you go.
He's like, yes. No, that's
mine.
Yes, that is Lightasker. Okay. They have the same sleeves.
Ah, yes. Probably true. All right, 4. All right, 10. Not first. That's not ideal. Okay.
Okay. All right, will keep. I am going to go turn 1 Kirby into Binding Irons.
Okay. Well.
And it is your turn. I will draw one.
So Logos, so I'll play Hologramophone and a Quant.
All right, I am going to say this. I'm gonna discard.
Yeah, we got bets.
Bets are
bets
active.
Yep.
Bets are active. So I'm going to discard the Obsidian Forge. It's too early. Have not seen the Sneck Lifter. I will play Eterome. I'm going to play Rock Grub and make you lose one. And I'm going to Poltergeist the Hologramophone. And I'm going to ward Kirby here. Actually, I think I want to put it like this, in case you've got the what's its face ready, the Kymore Eclipse. So we'll keep the Kirby alive, and I will draw 4.
So you'll just play a Snag and a Snaglet and an Furnace. I will get the Poltergeist and the Obsidian. Actually, I'll get the Poltergeist and the Binding Irons.
Okay.
I'll play Not Finished with You. Your turn.
Okay, I am going to say Shadows. I'm going to discard Bad Penny. I am going to play No Safety in Numbers. 3 on Eterome. I will play TMTP. And I will play Sack of Coins, and I'll do 1, 2, 3. Clean up that disc board. And it's your turn. I will draw 4.
I'll say Logos. I will fight Eterome. Play a Wormhole Tech. I'll play an Eddy. 2.
Alright, I am going to say Star Alliance. I am going to Quintrino Flex Kirby and one of your guys. So Kirby will die and lose the ward in this case. I am going to play Medic Ingram. I will ward her. I am going to put a Cloaking Dongle on Ingram. I will play Dr. Driscoll. I will reap with Kirby and lament the fact that I don't actually have something to play there because I would be threatening. Alright, and it's your turn. I will draw 4.
Logos will play Titan Guardian, and I will Thorium Plasmate Kirby into the middle.
Okay.
The pile there. Your turn.
Tough turn. I think this is a Star Alliance turn, though. I'm going to play Frayne, who will capture on herself. Driscoll's going to reap, and Medic Ingram's going to reap. I'd set myself up to get Ronnied here, but I force you into Shadows, basically, by saying that. So I'll say check with 7. I will draw 1, and it's your turn.
Alright, I'll pick up the archive and say Shadows. I will play a Whisper, Davinda, Ronnie, and Steal 2, and play Sneck Lifter.
Okay.
Your turn.
You have played Not Finished with You, correct?
I have. Take a combat P while you're.
Okay.
You can take a turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured he'd have like a decent sized Shadows turn, but I kind of like want to force him to take it, right? So I think this is going to be a disc turn. I am going to exhume Kirby. I am also going to play Rock Grub. Make him lose 1. I think I use Kirby to play the Gambling Den. And then I use Buzzle, and I'll purge the Rock Grub to ready. I'm going to fight the Ronnie. Might as well get it off the table. Now the question is, do I purge the Driscoll? I think it's close. So what I've done is I've exhumed Kirby. Kirby's played the Gambling Den. I played a Rock Grub. A Buzzle, purged the Rock Grub, fought the Ronnie. And then if we get rid of the Driscoll... Actually, I think it's worth it to get rid of the Driscoll, because if I get Hysteria'd, then I have to like take a turn playing Driscoll, which isn't great. And the Buzzle will fight Snecklifter. And so if he's got the Shadows again to stop me, I've -2 ambered that he could potentially, or at least fights, right? Also because of the wards and stuff, he's gotta do some stuff to get to my creatures. All right, so I'll say check with 7. I will draw 4.
Okay, I'll say this. I will play Buzzle, purge Javinda, ready, fight. So I do fight to kill.
Yes,
elusive ward, dead. And that's all these. Right now I'm like this. Or I can fight. Fight. I could also gamble too. I'll wait on that for a second. Do I gamble here? I mean, the only way to beat a gambler is to gamble yourself. I'm not super concerned about having Amber. So I'll say Shadows with gamble. Okay. It also lets me know what my next card is, which is useful information. So I'll say this to the turn. Okay. Don't really want that medic to be alive. I'm going to play Harbinger. Play Buzzle. Purge. Ready. Fight Medic. Purge. Ready. Fight Medic. Ward. Purge. Ready. Fight Medic. Purge. Ready. Fight Kirby. Those play fight. 4.
So 5.
5. I'll play Infernus. TMTP. Get Forge. Get Exhume.
With are you Hysterian?
Hysterian, yes.
Okay.
And playing it again. And then I'll get the no safety in numbers. And then Buzzle is 6 for Buzzle.
Okay.
Your turn.
Okay, I do not Gambling Den here because I cannot forge, so I cannot both threaten. Okay, so I will say Star Alliance. I'm going to play Commander Chan. I'll play Stealth Mode, so no actions next turn. I will zap. I'll deal the 2 damage to Infernus. And then Frayne is going to Reap, and I'll capture onto Commander Chan. And I will say check with 6. It is your turn. I will draw 2.
I don't think I can. Well, yeah, no, I won't get it. I'll say this. I will play Snag and Rock Grub. Make you lose 1. I'll fight Commander Chan. bubble. Will just your turn.
Okay, I think I do gamble here. If I whiff, I think I'm still threatening. So I am. I don't actually know what my count is at this point. Yeah, 7. How many cards are left? 3. Is it a 999 spread so far?
Perfectly.
2, 5. Okay, so I think it's a 10-9-8 spread. 5, 7. Okay. I will say shadows. It is Star Alliance, so I lose that. I am gonna say this. I'm gonna play Evil Eye to make your keys cost more. I'll play Rock Grub to make you lose one. I'm gonna play Buzzle and purge Rock Grub and fight your snag. So that way you don't get the free snag on me. And it is your turn. I will draw 3.
Are we gambling here?
Would not forge because of the
evil. So yeah, I'm not gambling here. I will say shadows. Discard bad penny. I'll play a mug on the frame. I'm gonna camera eclipse. I'll play TNTP because I actually don't think that's super good in this situation, in this matchup, especially because I can't archive it. Just have not seen my things.
Yeah,
my libraries. Those are a big deal. Turns out they're pretty important. All right, your turn.
Okay. So you just shuffled in a Star Alliance and Dis. I think the deck is mostly so I had 8 stupid gambling.
I know.
Forcing both
this
people to
this
count.
the whole damn game.
Yeah. 7, 8, 10. Okay, so not Star Alliance. If I do that, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7. So this deck is half shadows. I'll say shadows. Okay, boom, get the key.
Okay.
All right. So I could stop this key.
Notes are illegal, by the way.
Yeah.
Can't take
dice
notes.
are illegal too. Like I don't even think I can like keep dice on
No.
the side counting up and down. So I can stop this key, but I think it is better if I say Star Alliance. I play Information Officer Gray. I show you a Manchego. Stuff him in the archives. I play Kirby so that I can play Misery Exploit, game 1 for the snag. And it is your turn. I will draw 4.
I will not gamble. Alright, I will say Lotus. Play Igor. Okay. Cutthroat and Ronnie. I will play Igor. Buzzle and J Benda. I will play Tao Vapors. Okay. Archive a card. I will play Jargoggle.
I mean, his deck had to have been like most of the Locust. We have not. He's bounced between Shadows and Dis a bunch, right? So
play tank. Your turn.
Yeah, we gamble here. I think this is Star Alliance. All right.
This deck or these games are more about the decks, not the players. But I personally just don't like getting in the habit of doing things I couldn't do in a tournament. You know. And I just don't feel like taking notes. At the end of the day, there's a lot of stuff to do.
Okay, so I am going to say Shadows here. I'm going to discard Hugger Mugger. I am going to play a Venda, and I'm going to play Umbra. And I don't do anything else there. And I draw 3, leaving 1 card in my deck, which I can deterministically figure out what it is, right?
Okay. I will gamble, saying the House of.
I could have played another Shadows card. I could have discarded the Shadows card there, but I think having this here is incredibly valuable, right? Because that's just +2 Amber.
I'll say the House of Logos. Bang. We're very good gamblers today. Alright. For my turn, I will say Dis. I'm going to play these 2 libraries. They're the 2 bottom cards of the deck. I will play Rot Grub, make you lose 1. I'll play Infernus.
Okay.
Purge some stuff. Eagle Eye, and we'll get Stealth Mode.
Okay.
Snag will fight the Kirby. Your turn.
Seven. And 12. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11.
You don't have to tell me what it is. Just you can just turn it up. You
know, I don't know what it is.
Well, just turn it up. It's fine. You know what it is. You don't have to figure it out.
I mean, I'm gonna figure it out.
Okay.
Is it Hit and Run? I think it's Hit and Run. I have not seen Hit and Run. Right? Hit and Run has not been purged. Okay, so it's Shadows. Hit and Run. Okay. All right. So I am going to say Shadows for the turn. I'll put my archives into my hand. I am going to Hidden Stash. If I had a way to like just use the cards on board and do nothing else, I would do it this turn, but I think I gotta like create some stuff here. So I'll Hidden Stash. I'm gonna play Manchego and Steel 2 because I got 1 over there. I am going to Reap with a Venda. I will shoot, I guess, the Rock Grub. Get a card at random from your hand. finish with you. That's a solid one. That's
actually,
like,
I actually wanted that. Yeah,
yeah, that's that one. I'm totally fine with you losing right there. Umbra is going to fight an Igor. Steal that last one. And it is your turn. I will say check with 7. I'll draw 1 and then shuffle. Draw 2. Sorry, draw 1 more. Sorry, draw 1 more.
All right, I'll say I'll gamble for Dis.
Yeah, you've got no amber. I mean, it strategically, you kind of want to keep your opponent with like 1 or 2 amber if you can, because that way they're like tempted to gamble. You don't want to like give them a free gamble, but at the same time, it's like go to 7, right? So normally at this point in the game, I'll point out, normally at this point in this game, Light Tasker has like a 12-card archive.
Yeah.
And things are looking dire. So
I'll say Logos. I'm gonna Brain Plasmate the Information Officer to there. I will fight Information Officer Gray. I'll fight Information Officer Gray. Play Umbra. There. I'm gonna activate the group Think Tank. Play this Hologramophone. I'm done.
Okay, I will Forge. I don't want to gamble there. So I don't think the gamble would have been awful there. Okay, I am going to say Shadows. I'm going to play Ronnie. I'm going to hit and run Ronnie. I'll do 2 damage to Umbra. I'll play Ronnie. I will discard this Hugger Mugger. That just sets me up to get snagged at some point. And it is your turn. I will draw 3.
Alright, I will gamble for this. Okay. Always Logos.
Yeah. You had that. You had like access to a lot of your Logos cards. So
I'll say Logos. I will Vapors. I have a card. Play Research. Play Wormhole Tech. I will fight Ronnie. Board the tech. Actually, I'm gonna play this tech here.
Yep.
Your turn.
The gamble here. I think I'm getting to the point of the game where I don't have like a ton of pips left. Getting more difficult to threaten every time. I think what I do is I threaten this turn. Well, I get in within gambling range to win. Alright, I'm going to say Star Alliance. I am going to play Frayne. I'm going to Quadrino Flux, Frayne, and the Wormhole Tech to get 4s and 3s. The Wormhole Tech would survive.
Oh, yeah.
I will play Kirby. I'll give Kirby the Light of the Archons. And it is your turn. I will draw 4.
Okay. I'll say Dis. I will play Snaglet, Puzzle, Furnace. Where's my stuff?
I don't have any pips over here.
I'll get Research and I'll get Not Finished with You.
Okay.
Use the libraries. Your turn. I guess I could have gambled the turn, but it's too late.
I wonder if I gamble here. Yeah. 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 2, 3, 10. Okay. I don't think this is a good clean gamble. So, so you don't have snag. Okay, yeah. You don't have snag, so I'm gonna say Star Alliance. And I'm gonna put Cloaking Dongle on Kirby. I'm gonna Reap with Kirby. And I will play Hidden Stash Kirby. Archive a card. Chan, I think I play. He's close to a discard, but I think I play him. And it is your turn. I will draw 4.
Okay, I'll say Logos. Play Quant. Play Eddie. Archive. Reap with Wormhole Tech. Oh, I need to gamble at the beginning of the turn. I say this. Reap with Wormhole Tech. I show the top card. It is. Goes there. Hologramophone. Word's Daddy. Your turn.
Okay. Let's see if I have a deterministic gamble here. I think I'm not quite deterministic. Six, 7, 8, 9.
Eddie would stop the Forge, but if he gets free 2 Amber, he probably wants 2 free Amber, I imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
The Hysteria did get the Archive, yes.
Okay. I think it ends up, it's 50-50. It's like, I think it's a 4, 7, 8, 10. Is it actually not 50-50? Is it guaranteed Star Alliance?
We'll put it there. Wormhole Tech.
Yeah. Or 5. Okay, so this is 2 Star Alliance cards. No, computer went off. It's gone so long. So I will say Star Alliance for the turn. Sorry, for the gambling deck.
Okay.
Yeah. I will say Star Alliance for the turn. I am gonna play Kirby. I am going to Reap with Kirby. So I've got 2 non-Star Alliance floaters, basically. The first one is going to be a sack of coins. And I'm going to do 1... and 8 more. I think I have to get the snag. So I'll get the snaglet for 2. I am okay. So
Six
that's
more.
So 6 more. I will end up shuffling, so I don't think I have to worry about the Infernus. I am gonna kill the puzzle with 3 of it. I've got 3 left, so I'll do 3 that way, 1 on each. Eddie is alive until Commander Chan kills him. And then I am going to use Kirby to play Misery Exploit for 3. And then I am done. I'll say check with 12. I will draw and then shuffle and draw.
Okay, I will gamble for this. Okay. I will say shadows. I will archive.
I know he's got the TMTP. I know he's got all this shadow stealing stuff. I know he's got it, right? Like, but he was getting to the archive is too big. I have to force him to use it right there, right?
Okay. Play that. I will. I'll mug Commander Chan. Play Ronnie. Play Ronnie. Play Eclipse. Press no one. Play Necklifter. Maya Den now.
I'll just leave it over here
fine.
because we have the same sleeves.
Yeah,
it could get shuffled.
All right.
Kind word.
My kind word.
Okay. So I was hoping to draw into something on the reshuffle. I don't know that I have a way to stop here. Felt like I had a lot of good draws, despite having a ton of stuff purged. I can lose the game, I think. I think I misplayed by going too high. I feel like I punted this game. I feel like I punted it. Maybe if I stayed at 1 card there, because I could have so incredibly frustrating. I will Keyforge. So I have a chance if I hit this gamble and then forge on the next turn, right? So okay, let's just clean up the table. Or do I just I think I have to hit the gamble here. It is shadows. Are you kidding me? They're like, that is the only discard in this, I believe. Because 7 discards are purged, 2 in my archives, 2 are in my hand. Unbelievable. Can I buy a win tonight? I will say Star Alliance. I am gonna play Medic Ingram and Ward. I'm gonna Quintrino Flux Medic Ingram and J Venda. And then I will zap for 3 to kill the Infernus. And it's your turn. I will draw 3.
I will not gamble. Alright, I will say Logos. Play Igor. Play Vapors. Okay. Play Igor.
I punted. I feel like I punted. I had to force the shadows, right? But I think I gave him the other key.
Okay. I'll play Jargogol. Award bad thing.
If I had drawn Ronnie and like hit and run some stuff, I could do something here. But I'll gamble for shadows. It's shadows. I can say this. I can put all this stuff in my hand. I can play a rock grub to make you lose one. That's the extent of my amber control for the turn. I can play a Edorum and a Dendrix. I could play Buzzle and like purge all of this stuff to like fight, and then like Misery Exploit. But that's game. So
okay.
I punted that game, man. Oh, so frustrating. Oh, the deck was so gas. Why were you on top, Misery Exploit? I shouldn't have played it, right? Because my deck at that point would have been 50-50. It would have been Star Alliance and Shadows, mostly Shadows at that point. So
yeah, I don't know. Because you had to pick your time.
Screwed up.
Yeah.
I screwed up. I gave you an extra 3 amber with the Misery Exploit, right?
Yeah.
If I force you, if I needed to engineer, I was like just slightly off, right? If I engineer the board state where I have the win sitting right there, and I keep it that way, then I think that's it, right? Like, yeah, I got 2 more shots. That game was that's the closest game I think we've had, right?
This matchup is extremely cerebral, that's for sure. I had to make the choice to just give you the second key because if I had brought you below 7 and you still forged, it was like really bad.
Because you lose all your amber to stop the third key.
Yeah,
you lose all your tricks to stop the third.
It was like I could have stopped that key, but
because I had not seen Eddie that game, right? You'd hidden Eddie from me. This
was a turn where I was just gonna play Ronnie and like something else bad. It was just gonna be like a Ronnie and a mug turn or something like that. But you had like 3 Star Alliance guys on the table, so if I had played that, you could just ran back Star Alliance, and if you forged, that makes it even worse. So that's why I had to take like a disc turn there to just like filter my hand and give you the key.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, you needed the polter. You needed the libraries.
I needed libraries on the
table.
table.
Draw those. I was like, what? No, don't do nothing with that. I forgot about the trust no one because I was like, he can TMTP, he can Ronnie. That puts me at 4.
Yeah. There's only one contest. Nathan just closed one and opened one and closed one and then opened one. So it should only be the active one now.
I hit the one for will I win the next game, which is not a question we ask around here. Easy mo. Believers. Believers Pepe laugh.
Six. I have not looked at it. Right? No, I have not looked at it.
Go in the roll.
Yeah. I mean, pretty upset about not seeing our libraries, but I think I keep this hand.
Okay, I'll say Shadows. I'll play Hidden Stash.
Okay, I'll say Logos. Play Plasmate. Play an Eddie. Archive a card. Play a Quint.
No quarter. I am going to say Starlance. I'm going to give Eddie Light of the Archons.
Okay.
Jake. Yeah. I'll give Eddie Light of the Archons.
Okay.
I will Quintrino Flux Font. Eddie can hang around for
now. All
right. And then I will zap.
All right.
Yeah, I'll actually zap Eddie first.
Okay.
Okay, and it's your turn. I will draw 3. I can kill them both, but I don't get the amber for playing the Light of the Archons. Plus, Light of the Archons on Eddie means that Justin would have to bounce Eddie with like a Hysteria or something for the Light of the Archons to be in my discard pile for him to hit me with Infernus. So
I would do that. Happy Valentine's to you. Yes, this is a game too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I will play Rot Grub, play a Snag, play a Library, discard Harbinger. Harbinger is definitely not the card for this matchup. Not like it was for Helmholland. It was nuts in Helmholland. Your turn.
Okay, I am gonna say this. I'm gonna play Rock Grub to make you lose one. I'll play Rock Grub. I'm gonna play Buzzle. I'm gonna purge Rock Grub. I will fight Snag. I will purge Rock Grub. I will fight Snag. And it is your turn. I want to fight Eddie off the table, but there's no way I'm leaving a Snag around.
I'll play Shadows. So I'll mug Buzzle. Play Ronnie and steal one. Play Whisper. Your turn.
Alright, I am going to say Shadows. I'm going to play Bad Penny. I am going to no safety in numbers. I will discard Bad Penny. I will play a Venda, and I will play Ronnie and steal one. And it is your turn. I will draw.
I'll say Logos. Say this. I'll say this. Play Library. I'll play Inferni.
How many Infernuses have I had playing on me tonight?
This stuff is not Bad Penny. I will use Library. Rock Rub will fight Puzzle. Your turn.
I am going to say Star Alliance. I'll play Dr. Driscoll and Information Officer Gray. Gray is going to show you a Rock Rub. Shoving the archives. And it is your turn. I will draw.
Say Logos. Play Hologramophone. Play Igor.
I have played against Light Tusker a lot. I've particularly played against Light Tusker a lot in the last several weeks. I'd rather the Eddie be dead, but he can not finish with you. I haven't seen him not finish with you. So putting Eddie in the discard pile. Eddie on the table, I mean, he just played a hologramophone, right? Before that, he didn't have the hologramophone. So Eddie on the table, at least I know where the Eddie is. And I can try to play around it that way.
I'm gonna discard Hysteria and Vapors. Okay, I will
Hysteria and Vapors. Wow. Yeah. What a decision.
Play Tech, play Jargogol. Actually, I don't play those yet. I will play Igor. Start Snag and Snack. Play Jargogol. The wormhole tech. Eddie will. I wish I didn't have that damage on. I want to fight something. I want to fight like a Vinda. Eddie just is gonna read.
Too many Logos creatures.
Your turn.
Okay, I am going to play Gambling Den. Okay, so I don't actually have to worry about Hysteria, so I don't have to worry about getting Infernus for quite some time. Ronnie is going to Reap. I am going to Hit and Run to do 2 damage to the Wormhole tech and bounce Ronnie. I will play Ronnie and steal 1. Avenda is going to Reap and shoot Wormhole tech. Discard a card from your hand.
This might matter. Let's see.
Snaggle.
That didn't matter.
Is not. Yeah, that is a blank card. Okay, and it is your turn. I will draw 2.
Sorry, I will gamble and say Logos. Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye.
I do remember there was a lot of amber that was destroyed in this final match. Yeah. Jake Freed,
thank you so much.
Well, yeah. It's all on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
there.
I know you got other ventures at this point, but it's all on YouTube. So definitely go check out the other matches if you want to see how Light Tasker got here. Yeah. I do think the Jack Feet Light Tasker games were.
They were very good. I'm gonna say Logos. I'm gonna play Titan Guardian. I'm gonna play Group Think Tank. I'm going to fight some stuff. I'm gonna fight. The old information officer. And let's fight Ronnie. We'll slap this Umbro down. And then he's gonna reap. And I'm gonna award the Zeddy. And I'm done. Hyper 946, you're
Hyper.
Appreciate
that. Okay, I am going to say
No gamble.
Yeah, no gamble. I can't forge because of Eddie. I will say Star Alliance. I'm gonna put Cloaking Dongle on Driscoll. I am going to stealth mode, so no actions next turn. And then Driscoll is going to reap. I think a healing Eddie does not seem good here. Yeah, I think Driscoll just reaps. And it is your turn. I will draw 2.
Alright, I will gamble. Okay. I'll gamble for Logos. Goodbye. Light Tasker is not a gambler. We've proven this.
That's why shut it down.
Yep. No actions. No actions. It's 2 cards. Alright, I'll say Shadows. Play Javinda. I'll play Javinda. I'll play Ronnie. Kill 2. Umbra. White. An elusive thing. I will. Discard Trust No One. And your turn.
Yep. 2 cards in the archives. I feel like those 2 cards are Snecklifter and TMTP. That's my gut feeling. You didn't discard the Snecklifter anywhere. Reshuffle. Okay. The TMTP is in the archives, 100%. I think the other Ronnie may be over there, unless you played it. I don't think you did.
It is in the discard spot.
Okay. All right.
Do you want to look through my discard spot?
Give me this.
There you go.
Okay, so there is an unaccounted for. Nope, it's there. Unaccounted for.
Can he guess the card?
What am I missing?
Without looking at my Archon card.
There's only 5 possible cards. Is that deck has 2 Thorium Plasmites or 1?
Just 1.
Both Infernuses are on the table. Is it? There's no. Not a disc creature.
Chat, can anyone name the card? Who's paying attention? They might have seen you put it in there, but I gotta shuffle this. Black Lotus. Yep. That's the one.
That is it.
You got it.
I honestly am blanking on it. I feel like it's important. Bad Penny.
Bad Penny. Allegedly. Bad Penny is a card I always forget is in this deck. Because I very rarely play it or even like have to deal with it.
Yeah, because you can purge it with Puzzle and all.
Purge it or put it in an archive or discard it off Igor's.
So the problem is that my hand is dog shit, and it's been dog shit for turns as he continues to keep expanding the board. So I am going to say I'm going to discard Obsidian Forge. I'm going to play Dendrix. I'm going to Binding Irons you, and that's my turn. I'll draw 3. Go ahead.
Okay. I will play. I will not gamble. Play Logos. Play Vapors. Draw 2. I have 1. Play Cutthroat. Stupid clue. I will
gambling to. Yeah, I wish.
Fight Avinda. Fight Avinda. Reap with Eddie. Play a Quant. Play Jargogol with a card. Install this here. I'm gonna go and ready these. Right, hologramophone something. Hologramophone. We'll do Opera. Okay.
Okay.
Drop a chain. Draw 3.
This deck is mostly shadows. No. Not at all. 3.
Wrong.
Wrong. This deck is mostly Star Alliance. So here's the thing. Got a crazy idea to double my investment. Okay. All it takes is for me to hit this gambling den, and I can take my money and double it. Not a sure thing.
Seems worth.
I am going to, you know what, I'm gonna say Starlight. Screw it. Yes. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. We are going to say, for the turn, we're gonna say Star Alliance. I'm gonna play Kirby. Driscoll is gonna heal the Titan Guardian to get to. Oh, I am gonna pick up my archives.
Okay.
All right. Kirby. I am going to play Sack of Coins, and I am going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
3, 4,
5, 6, 7.
5, 6, 7. Okay.
8, 9.
Okay.
With the first Kirby. The second Kirby is going to Misery Exploit.
Okay.
For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Alright.
And there's no way that this can backfire. This is a sure thing.
Alright.
Alright?
Yep.
Okay. And that's my turn. Go ahead. I will draw 2.
Alright. I will gamble.
Yeah. To the moon. Gambling den to the moon.
I'm gonna gamble for Dis. Fudge. Okay.
Rocket ship emoji. Star Alliance. To the moon. They go to space all the time. It's so easy to go to the moon. Once you're already in space.
I'm gonna say Dis. I'm going to fight Kirby. I'm gonna fight Kirby. I'm gonna play Snaglet. Use libraries. Play not finished with you. Shuffle again. I'm done.
Okay, so I pay 11. Is it 5 cards in the archives?
It is 5 cards.
Okay, so I'll pay 11. Alright. I will say this for my turn. I will play a Rock Grub. I will play Evil Eye. I will play Eterome. And then Dendrix. I'll play Eterome. Dendrix is gonna fight Eddie.
This is good.
Oh crap, taunts in the way. When did that guy die?
I threw.
Oh, you killed him. Yeah. I will fight Quant. Quant I think is important to get rid of. I'm not mad at that. And it is your turn. I will draw 2. Oh, one more. 3.
Okay, I think I gotta say this here. I'll play Infernuses.
Even after discarding the card, even after shuffling him into like a 20-15 card deck or so. Ugh. Deeply frustrating to play against that card.
Alright. Use the library. Snaglet. Snaglet's tough. I'll action Snaglet and say. Let me see your discard. You like Manchego? I'll say Shadows.
Okay.
And that's it.
Alright, I will say Star Alliance for the turn. I am going to do a gamble here. That is a tough question. I don't think I gamble here because I'm so far away from forging because of Eddie. Driscoll is going to heal my Dendrix for 2. And then I am going to dump all my cards on the floor and pick up my board wipe. It's conveniently on the floor. I will then play Ingram, who I think just has to ward herself. Force you to sink resources into killing her. And then I will play Frayne. Gonna capture onto Eterome. And that is my turn. I will draw 2.
Okay, well, gamble actually. Oh, not gamble. Or do I? No. Okay. I'm gonna say Logos for the turn. I will Thorium Plasmate the Eterome into there. I will play an Igor. Discard Rock Grub and Snuck Lifter. I will fight the Frayne. I'll Reap with Eddie. I'll Hologramophone Eddie. I'll Reap with Jargogle. Titan Guardian. We'll just read. Your turn.
What's this?
No, I drew my last card. Crap.
12. 3. Or 7, 8, 9. Seven. 9 to 11. Is this a Starlance card? Are you a Starlance card? 4, 7. No. Almost miscounted because of the Light of the Archons were there. Okay, I am going to 4, 6, 7, 11. This is Dis. Wow, an incredible card. I'm actually glad I haven't seen that because I could protect this card now from the Infernus. So yeah, that's actually a great place for it. Okay. All right. So I am for my turn. I can say Shadows. I can Manchego. And Hugger Mugger. I can play an Umbra. You have 5 cards in your archives?
6.
6. Okay. So I've got the sneakiest check. Gambling. A check so secretive that I may not even know that it's there. And I am done. I will draw and then shuffle and draw 2 more.
Alright, I'll say Shadows. Play a Whisper and a Ronnie. Steal 2. I will play Trust No One, steal 1. I will fight your Umbra, my Umbra, steal 1. I will Reap with the Avinda and do a damage to Rock Grub, steal 1. I will Reap with Avinda and shoot the ward. For this Ronnie. I'll fight Manchego actually. Let's put 2 damage on it. And done. Just piles of stuff.
Yeah, I drew all the removal at the beginning of the game, so it's all purged now, which is bad for the long-term prospects of this game. Okay, I am going to say... Do I gamble here? I think the answer is no. I can't forge, so I am going to say dis for the turn, I believe. I am going to poltergeist the hologramophone toward Dendrix. Dendrix is going to fight Titan Guardian, so I will let you draw the 2, and then the fight effect happens, I believe. I think that's the order, at least.
Yep.
A medium result, I think. I am going to misery exploit for 5. I am going to exhume. I guess the only I'll get Umbra. I'll force you to kill it. I'll put it on this side. And it is your turn. I will draw. You forge, but you can gamble if you want.
I'm not gonna gamble. Okay. 3 plus 6. What is this?
I think this deck is particularly good with Misery Exploit, but it's because it has no safety in numbers and Sack of Coins. And it can play the Misery Exploit with Kirby. It's also got Zap. So it has multiple ways to get damage on multiple creatures. And then so you can actually use it to generate a large amount of amber.
All right. See logos. Convert research. 2. Thorium plasmate. I'll just kill the Umbra. I'll fight the Manchego. Fight medic, fight medic. Reap. I'll play a quant.
Okay. My turn.
Yeah.
Alright, so if I want to forge, it's going to cost me 12. I'm going to have to hit. So we just hit. So that's simple.
Just hit.
I'll just say... Shadows. I think that is beyond the game at that point. I think it was game before this, but I think that is 100% game. I am going to... I didn't want to take another 5 minutes. I will say Star Alliance for the turn. I'm going to play First Officer Frayne. She will capture onto herself. I'm going to play Commander Chan now I'm there. I'll play Information Officer Gray. I'm going to show you Ronnie. I'll put Ronnie down here. And then Driscoll will heal my Dendrix. And it is your turn. I will draw 4.
I will. I'll say Shadows. Play Necklifter, play Ronnie. Heal 2.
I needed one of my board wipes to survive. One of my removal spells to survive.
I'll fight.
They're all
Information
purged.
Officer, steal 1. I'll reap with Javen to shoot him, and then reap with Javen to shoot him and steal one. Whisper. I'll actually lose one to kill the Driscoll.
Game, wasn't it? Sorry guys. I thought I could get Light Tasker with it.
Your turn.
Okay. Like, I don't even think the Light of the Archons on the Eddie mattered because I've never been able to get to him this game. I had a chance to kill him at the beginning there and I didn't take it, and I probably should have. Because I've been trying to. Justin's not stupid. He's not going to play into the team TP, but I've been holding the team TP, and that's why I can go to outrageous amounts, right? That was the whole game plan this game. That's why I went to 19 or whatever it was, because if you team TPs me, I just do it right back, and then I probably win the game, right? Because I can just ride that out. So if anybody was wondering why I'm sitting over here with outrageous amounts, we didn't talk about it in the open. Maybe Justin forgets. Maybe. I don't think he is going to, but maybe he does. So that's why I don't say it there. But that's the situation we were in. I actually screwed up by not archiving this earlier because it's been a chain this whole game. And if I had kept like specific stuff, what are you at right now? Because I have to, for
9.
Okay, we're not actually.
No, I have 1 card in the deck.
Okay. Well, I can Ronnie hit and run Ronnie, but you still have the 1 card left, so you can hit it. So, all right, that's game. I will concede at that point because, yeah, I feel like I punted game 1, and then this game, I think, lined up very poorly for Andres, right? Like, I don't think this is an auto loss, but this was not a good draw. Like, just the way everything lined up.
Well, who is next? I will never financially recover from this. GG's. Thank you, Wizard Random, for the 100 bits there.
I try. It's so these felt like games. The Hellmalen did not.
These
feel
were
like
definitely games,
right? There was maneuvering back and forth. There was like a lot of like trying to angle for specific stuff. The problem was I am drawing and playing what I draw and using maybe some of the stuff I have on the board. But Light Tasker had both libraries that game, so I have to play the 15 creatures on the table. I got to play against the 6 cards in the archive, and the deck was like 10 cards by the end of the game, right? So he gets into a situation where he just plays the same stuff. And yeah, anyway, Andres is good down. You gotta have to find something else, guys. You gotta find something else.
Is it Confage time? It might be Confage time. I don't know. That's up to y'all, though.
So
that's up to y'all. If that a Confage championship matchup is a concession that none of our other decks deserve a shot at being Light Tasker. And we know some decks can be.
KVBS again, maybe.
But like, can it now? Like, can I play the game in such a way where it doesn't win? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I
don't think KVBS is an auto win against it.
Yeah, I agree. But the difference is KVBS doesn't lose the game on the spot to Infernus, right?
Yeah.
The thing about the Infernus stuff is that eliminates so many decks right there, right? If you want to win through rushing, like Barkus Rex, no chance. Right,
we'll be cracking new decks in about 1 month.
Yeah, please, God, I'm ready for the next set.
We'll see if Dark Tidings can actually like.
I can't take these 8 to 10 months between sets at this point. Like it is getting brutal. It's brutal over here for Keyforge players. Need some new stuff. I was
close though.
But I mean, like the tide mechanic. Imagine Light Tasker having to take a bunch of chains during a game to get the opponent off the tide, right? Like imagine that, right? That might be a balancing factor. It might be one of those things where there could be something that does something with the tide and the archives.
The dark or the evil urchin deck.
Yeah. It's a bunch of dudes that come into play, steal 2 amber, and you don't want to bounce them. You don't want to hysteria those guys. You don't want to Kymor Eclipse them. You know, like yeah.
Saw of Warren Vector versus Meteor Garrus Speedforge. Oh,
okay. So you want the okay? Are those 2 decks that have really low amber?
Sav does. Meteor Garrus has the combo with Golden Spiral and Cincinnatus Rex.
Ah.
So like, I'm pretty sure Garrus can take a 10-minute turn and just generate like 20 amber,
and then lose.
But
the
also,
game.
it's taking like 10-minute turn.
Yeah. Okay.
What is Speedforge? Are we saying 10 minutes for Speedforge?
10 minutes per player on the clock.
Yeah. What are we thinking for that? Is that not too long?
I think 10 is fine.
Is 10 fine?
I think 10 is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 will fly by.
Okay. I don't know how Sov wins in 10 minutes.
I don't either.
So we'll see. 10 per side. Okay. So we're gonna use chess clock.
This is a stipulation match.
Yeah.
Okay. In wrestling tradition, you have a stipulation match where somebody puts a hurdle in the way, so it's not traditional. So we've had a proposed series of stipulations that anybody could choose from if they want to.
Yep. Yeah.
So you can add a chess clock to it, but for Speedforge, it's going to be 10 minutes on a chess clock for each. Clock hits 0, you lose. Okay. So yeah, but other options are like a Heart of the Forest match, where there's just an intangible Heart of the Forest in play. I mean, it just sits there.
I think that's dumb. I think it's dumb. Want speed sigil,
but right? Speed sigil
or Kixie Stone,
stuff like that. There's invisible versions of those that just sit in play that neither player can interact with, and their effects are alive. Effects are alive for that match.
So we can do stuff like that for fight nights. Make it interesting.
Yeah.
But Speedforge is on the menu. This will be the first time we've used chess clocks too. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah. But we wanted to test chess, kind of a hot button issue in Keyforge. But we don't shy away from controversy. We charge straight towards the controversy, and we see if it's worth the. Because the thing is,
we're just saying right now that you can use chess clocks as an alternate way to play Keyforge.
Yeah.
For instance, Speedforge is a totally new type of game, right?
I think that the core issue is that the timing, like when time is called in Keyforge, those rules are garbage.
Yeah, which we don't really have to deal with that on stream ever because we don't play the time. I mean, some of those games were. I mean, that matchup would have gone to time.
Yeah, unless
some of those games would have gone to time.
Unless it was like finals of a vault tour.
Yeah.
But even then, it may have been close.
Yeah.
And our we test out the chess clocks. We just want to see because chess clocks are a floated solution. They are not necessarily the solution. So we wanted to try them on a stream. Everybody gets to watch. People can decide if they like it or they don't. And then we can kind of go from there. I mean, ultimately, I think you have to just change the time rules of Keyforge in general so that they work for vault tours. Because when time is called, the person who should win the game, it doesn't even matter. Like there's just cards just stop mattering at that point.
I also think that maybe they haven't touched time rules because there hasn't been any in-person play, and they haven't felt like it's something they need.
Well, I don't even think I think they made time rules, and then
they just
a year's worth of vault tours happened.
Yeah,
and I don't think, and it's not one of those where the players. I don't think the players have made enough of a stink of it.
Well, I think they're aware. The thing is, like, they don't have to change the time rules until right before tournament play starts happening again.
I don't think,
and then they can say, okay, we all this data. People online are like collecting data for us. So, they might change it before like the first big tournament, right?
Yeah, because I would love to see that updated. And the proposal that I like that was thrown out there, I don't know how much long ago.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's basically all
that one. That's the one we endorse.
Yeah,
you go through the forge step,
and that taxing matters.
And like cards on the table suddenly don't lose their text.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the most insane thing to me is that the cards you played in a card game stop mattering to determine who wins the game, right? That doesn't make any sense. Why am I playing these cards if they just suddenly don't matter, right? So the cards on the table don't lose their text at that point. You use them through the forge step in the next turn, and that's that, right? It doesn't take any extra time to the person gets to take their next turn, and they still get to go. They get to take all the time in the world they want to finish up their turn. If they couldn't stop the opponent would have won the game anyway, and you get rid of the stupid situation where time is called, and then both people just try to assemble as much amber as possible.
Which is weird.
Which it just stops
like,
making sense.
It's not Keyforge anymore.
The player skill doesn't matter at that point, right? Because you could be playing around stuff like too much to protect. But if I know my opponent has too much to protect and our game might go to time, I just kind of like sit around and I can just burst to 20 amber, have time get called, and then win the game through tie breaks.
It sucks. Anyways, thanks for watching.
Yeah,
this is Fight Night 6.
Done. Give me something else to fight Light Tasker with.
Who's next?
Andres got handled.
We'll find out.
I think I partially punted the game 1. I think I screwed up game 1 because I think if I don't gain all of that amber, I think I can engineer a situation where I can eventually.
Yeah, because it was like in a situation where you could just keep going to 4, and eventually I was going to stop having answers to it.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, everyone have a great night. Happy Valentine's Day. We will see you tomorrow for Keyforge. Actually,
yeah, we're doing Keyforge tomorrow night. What Keyforge?
Either
sealed or gauntlet.
It's either sealed or gauntlet.
Stay tuned to the Discord.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
We'll figure it out. Until Mass Mutation comes out, we're just kind of winging it. We do want to finish our sealed tournament, so maybe we focus on the sealed tournament just to get it finished.
Well, I've got a schedule.
Well, I
think the schedule does involve only one gauntlet, which is Mr. Jackfeet. Mr. Jackfeet Gauntlet is on the menu at some point.
Yeah, we do want to see that
because I'm high on Mr. Jackfeet right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard, but I did win a tournament today with Jackfeet and Innkeepers. It was a really cool tournament.
The Swindle tournaments.
Also, they're hosting a charity tournament the next month. They just made an announcement for it today, which is pretty cool. So it's like Doctors Without Borders, I believe, is the charity. And I think there was a banner for it on the TCO homepage. So
yeah, there you go.
If you're interested in that, I think it was like 80 SAS 2-deck survival tournament.
80 SAS cap?
80 SAS cap.
Okay.
2-deck survival. So
all right, there you go.
All right, everyone, have a great night.
We're done here.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.